Hi, welcome back to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie. I'm your guide into the world of Chinese. So we're going to continue learning, chisel away one word a day of Chinese expressions. And by just learning about the language, we'll learn a little bit about the Chinese culture so that it's not so foreign to you. Okay, so yesterday we talked about 喋喋不休, the phenomenon of 15 aunties nagging, grilling you with daunting questions about your relationship, about your income. So all the tough questions, no problem for them. So that's the kind of 喋喋不休. But of course, it's an exaggerated nagging scale by 15, like multiplied by all the women in your family, right? But sometimes, a lot of times, it's nagging. It's just one individual in the room and try to not to nag, right? Okay, so we have Xiu as our carryover character. This one person resting under the tree. It's original meaning, rest. Si, it means this. So in English, we have this, that kind of referral. Like there is a variable, right? There's no specific thing there, but we refer it to something without naming the thing. We just point it or direct it. So similar function in Chinese, and I checked out because this is not a common contemporary Chinese anymore. This is, if you see this word, this is something from the ancient old use of Chinese. We don't say this word that much in our daily oral language anymore. But once you see it in a phrase like this, you instantly know this is kind of a translation. This is sound maker. There's nothing to do with this. But I feel it's funny before we reveal what the whole thing is. You probably have seen, but we are going to still face it as individual characters and try to make sense, right? Si means this. Origin of the word comes from the meaning maker on the right side, which borrowed the meaning of an axe, like the cutting tool, right? Axe. And the left is the sound maker of the original meaning, but originally it means to split, to chop something apart. That's it's an action, right? But somehow it was borrowed and to mean something else. That something else simply become a referral of something else, right? Okay, so this is a si. And because you see si in Chinese, si is pretty short. It's a short sound. Si. Dun. Okay. Dun means pause. So we have xiu means rest, right? And here we have a pause. This came from the right side meaning maker. This related to your head. So if you see this character, I guess it symbols like, it's my guessing now. Okay, so this looks like a body, right? Legs, arms, and then this flat thing is your head. So the whole thing, like a body anatomy structure, means your head somehow. And then the left side is the sound maker. Dun by itself. Together it becomes dun. Probably it means you're so tired or something, your head kind of dropping down. And it's the kind of pause, like you instantly fall asleep. And then that's the pause sense. At least that's to me. So 休思顿, rest, this pause. It seems like making some sense, right? It's like take a break. But no, it's a translation of a foreign language in English. Because we're speaking to the English world. I'm pretty sure in other languages, when we're translating Chinese, a similar treatment. So we go for sound. 休斯顿. Does it sound like Houston? Houston, 休斯顿. So Chinese will have to break it down into individual characters, and each character have their fixed sound. So we have to, among all the sound makers in Chinese, we have to find the closest one to match to this English sound, Houston. And we break it down into hue, into this xiu, si. I mean, hues, like there's no vowel in this. This is a consonant, right? Like a quick connector. In English sound is a quickly pass by, right? Houston, but you cannot say Houghton. That's a different word, but you have this in there, but it's very quick. So, s is our, we have a vowel there. We cannot pronounce S by itself. We have to add something. We have to have a vowel there. So it's a s, close enough, right? Hu, xiu, si, and then we don't have a tongue, like a Houston, ten sound. We don't have ten. And the dun is the closest we can find. So this ten becomes dun, Houston. There are a lot of translated words in Chinese. So basically 2 comments about what you need to know of translated foreign language into Chinese. One is, of course, the default mode is to go after the sound, try to find as close as possible. But you know, each individual Chinese sound, like a sound maker, we have a ton of choice of exact sound and tone of this. Like xiu, we have a lot of different xius in our vocabulary. Which xiu to pick is also whoever does this translation have to face, like make their choice. Once it's fixed, you cannot freely exchange with another same sound but different character thing, because this becomes part of our language. We see this 3 characters, just Houston, like it's fixed. So whoever does the initial fixing of the phrases, translating this, have to make this choice of what character to match to their. Most of their choice making is based on, I mean, besides sound, it's based on how altogether they don't make meaning. Because we don't want to create puns by just randomly picking 3 sounds together, assemble something that representing a foreign concept, right? This place name, by, you know, incidentally create a meaning with the 3 characters. And then when Chinese people use this, it becomes funny or something, you know, that's try to be avoided. So a lot of times if it's translation, whoever did this, try to assemble through 3 characters that come together as a Chinese. If it's a first time seeing this, you won't even see it as any meaning string together. You will then tell, oh, this is a translation. Does that make sense? So especially this word, it means this from ancient Chinese. Like in our contemporary daily language use, this word is out, like we don't use it anymore. So if especially you see this character, that means for sure this is a translation. It's nothing to do with our life, daily, you know, practice. So 修思顿 together. Second thing is, if the translator want to go to the next level, so bring the sound, assemble them together, and then have meaning, not a funny meaning, but really well-matched meaning, which is sound maker and meaning maker merge so well together that it not only represents the sound of the foreign concept, but also the meaning of the foreign concept, not, you know, to make fun of it, but really represent the meaning. There are such translations in Chinese as well. I will talk more about that in another episode. That's like what I admire a lot about whoever does that kind of cultural introduction of foreign concepts into Chinese. They so well assemble it that like Chinese was operating in our vocabulary, that we can kind of quickly capture the meaning of a foreign concept. without being just the sound maker. Like Houston is in my view, it's only the sound translation. It's kind of lower level. The next level will be sound and meaning maker well merged together. Of course, there's another one. It's just forget about the sound. We just go for the meaning. We assemble our own characters to mean like this is that concept in a very succinct way. So that's 3 ways of translation. I will show you later on. So today is the starter of how we convert a foreign concept into Chinese. Hope you enjoy the show and see you another day.